Hi guys, welcome back to Libation and Vibration. I am your host, Kayla Jordan. Today we are going to talk to the wellness princessa, Joe, and get into her story and what she can show and give to you guys as far as insight. Joe, introduce yourself.
I love that. It's an honor to be here. Hi, my name is Joanna. Most call me Joe. I am originally from Atlanta. I'm currently living in Miami, and I am a fitness coach. And what's kind of brought my experience through fitness has been started with healthcare field. Then I dove into the fitness world, and then recently I've been diving more into the life coaching world. So that's kind of like the multifacets of where I'm at in life right now. I'm excited to dive in.
Talk about not putting all your eggs in one basket. So let's get to it. Joe, what got you started in the fitness community? What got you started on your fitness journey in general?
Yeah, so I was actually a New Year's resolution client, surprise. Let's go back to 2015. So 2015 December, I was in Colombia on a trip and I was there mostly in a bikini. And I just remember feeling so insecure in my body and in the bathing suit around so many other beautiful women. And I was like, okay, I don't want to feel this. I want to go find confidence. So I'm going to go work out. I'm going to change my external, change my body, and that's going to make me confident. Hindsight, that wasn't right, but that's where the path started for me and my introduction into the fitness world.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, what is something that you could say that you love about the fitness?
Oh man, where to begin? I feel like in an interesting way, fitness is what brings you to a deeper sense of yourself, right? Like you get to navigate how you're feeling. Does it make you feel powerful? Why are you doing certain things, right? Like if you have certain goals, like, why am I doing this? Why do I want to look this certain way? And it really taps you into that like inner strength and power that I believe that all of us have. It's just really finding that connection with your mind, with your body, with your soul, and just bringing all that into a session. And really just the energy that you get from like either working out or, just being in the energy of a gym.
I think as a person that also is a fitness trainer, but also works out themselves, like it's different when you step into the gym. It's different compared to saying like, oh yeah, I'm just here to do cardio. But like when you're when you're around this
Mhm.
group of people and you're in this community, it's like somebody's putting a battery in your back every single time. And you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that. Now, Joe, I know that you went from being a New Year's resolution baddie to then now training, but then you also stepped into the bodybuilding world. How did that go?
Yeah, so that was an interesting part of my journey, and that was such a big, like, important component of it. So, what got started that was that I started with a fitness coach, a trainer at the time, my very first one, and he was training a lot of girls in the bodybuilding world. And I remember telling him, like, I'll never do that. He's like, you should really train. You'd be great at it. You should just go in. You're already training hard. And I was like, yeah, nah. Fast forward a few months later, I was like, actually, I think I'm kind of interested. So yeah, that's kind of what started. It was just being in that environment because we are a byproduct of our environment. That's what I was around. That's what I adore. That's what I was like, yeah, let me do that. And why I say that was such a big component of my journey was that what I found in bodybuilding that was like so powerful now that I realized that was that I had this deep desire that I just wanted to be seen. I wanted to be validated. I wanted to be told that you're good, you're the best, right? We all want to get on that stage and place first, right? And so now when I see that, I was like, I was doing it for all the reasons to find that external validation because I didn't feel that. And I didn't
Mhm.
see myself as number one. I didn't believe I was enough. So I had to put on this sparkly bikini, get on the stage, and have some men on a stage tell me, "Yeah, you place this, you place that." And for me, that was such a big part because I had an opportunity to look within and be like, "Why did I want to do that? Like,
Mhm.
why did I step on that? What was I searching for in that?" So yeah, that was a big part of my journey.
Mhm. I feel like it's a big leap when you go from, okay, I'm just doing this to, feel and look good to this is now molding myself to really look this particular way so I can get to these competitions and be a part of this community. Like it's a huge difference compared to just working out. Um, what would be something that you would say is the hardest part about making that transition over?
Yeah, I think a very big challenge in that transition is some sacrifices that had to be made along the way, whether that was in a social life, whether that was within the relationship, like, that suffers in itself because what you eat is very particular,
Mhm.
your workouts, like everything has to go like first when you made that commitment and that decision to yourself. And overall, it's just that willingness, that determination that you made that promise to yourself and you're going to show up. And that was like a very big shift in itself, whether it's the nutrition, whether it's the workout. It's almost like you're taking something and you're amplifying it and you're taking it to the next level.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. Now, I heard you say sacrifices. What kind of sacrifices you have to make? Not even just in the bodybuilding world, or the kind of sacrifices did you have to make in order for you to get to where you are now?
Like overall in life,
Yeah,
sacrifices.
yeah.
Wow.
And I feel like
So many.
you have to go through this sacrifice sometimes. Like there are certain people that you have to drop because they don't align with you. Like what sacrifices did you have to make to be Joe today?
Yeah, definitely. So many, whether it's from friendships that no longer were in that same frequency of like where I wanted to go because it's very easy for us to stay comfortable, right?
Hmm.
But to leave that area, that zone of like, this is what I know, and to step out of that and then to realize like, oh shit, like these people don't align with that anymore. So either I stay here because that's comfortable or I step away. And it did require me losing certain friendships, not being as close to certain family members. Also moving from Atlanta to that was my hometown for 30 years to taking the leap and being like, I need to leave this environment because that I hit the ceiling of what I'm gonna grow. So I'm sacrificing being close to my family. I'm sacrificing being close to my friends and everything I've known to I'm going to come to this city where I know two people and I know nothing really about it, and I'm just going to go for it. So a lot of comfort, a lot of lonely nights, definitely sacrificing that, and just really letting that old self die off. It's like a grieving process of that version of who I was to where I know I want to go, and really sitting with it and all the feels that come from grieving an old version of yourself.
Mm, mm. That is a great way to
Yeah.
put it. It's like you are sacrificing your old self. In
Hmm.
order for you to grow, you have to let old you go. And a lot of people don't
Yeah.
realize that is that the more you hold on to who you used to be and say, well, I used to fit in a size two and I used to be able to eat this. And it's like, yeah, but like, where are you now compared to who you
Yeah.
were before? Where are you now? And you really have to sit with grieving who you used to be to understand who you want to be now.
Exactly. It's elevation requires separation. Sometimes you need that.
Mhm.
And if you know you want to elevate to that certain level, you got to separate from certain things to get there because if not, it's like an anchor stuck to your foot and you're trying to go and you're trying to go but that anchor's there, you're not going to go anywhere.
Hold on. I am writing that down. You said elevation requires substance. Hold on. Hold on. Because that is in elevation requires separation. That is gold. We got to put
Yeah.
that on a shirt, y'all. Put it on a shirt. I'm buying that shirt. 'Cause-
Ah,
wow. Wow.
yeah. It, it
But
it
it's
really it
true
really
though.
lands.
It's very true because it's like
Hmm.
you have to know what to let go. What's going to come with you on this journey, what's going to not
Exactly.
even just benefit you, but like what is meant to be with you during this journey. So I completely agree with that. Now, Joe,
100%.
I know you stuck to your journey as far as fitness, but what was your self-love, self-care journey like during that time?
Woo! And truly, it's been a journey, and it's like a lifelong commitment and daily devotion to self-love, really. But again, like fitness has been such that big part of me, because in realizing like, okay, I'm chasing things for the wrong reasons, for external validations. I want to be seen, I want to attract men, I want whatever it might be, right?
Right.
And then when I realized is that usually in a fitness journey, what we want is that we truly at the root end of it all is we just want to love ourselves more. But what happens is we do things from I want to punish my body, or I tell myself very mean things when I look in the mirror, whatever it might be. And what we're actually doing is that we're pushing ourselves further away from that which we actually want, which is self-love. But we do these things for the wrong reasons. And then we end up in this whole rabbit hole of I still don't feel enough. I still don't feel worthy. I still don't like when I look in the mirror. And it's because we're approaching it from the wrong
Standpoint.
place. And so, yeah, exactly. And so self-love for me, what it means is I'm accepting myself fully for who I am. And it's a daily devotion to that, to who I am, everything. And telling myself over and over again that all of me is welcome wherever I am in my journey. And that's what a fitness journey is as well. It's like, it's another big thing too, is like, sometimes we get so fixated on, I want a 30-day fix. I want a 60-day fix. And it's like, okay, cool. But how long did it take you to be where you are present? If you're 30, it didn't take 30 days to get there. It's been a lifelong thing that you have to rewrite. And that requires self-love and compassion and grace.
You is speaking on it. It's speaking on it because it's the fact though. Like you have people who they go through this journey and they want a quick fix. Understand? You're not a car. You can't come in and tell the mechanic, this is what I want to do, and this is how I need it to be done, and this is how long it's going to take for me to get back on the road. No. It's not like that at all. You can't come in there and change tires and think, bing, bam, boom, I'm back at it. Like you took so long to get to the point of realizing this is what you needed to start doing for yourself. It's going to take you that amount of time to actually get to where you want to be. But understand that you got to love every aspect of it, even when you feel like you're failing, even when you feel like you want to give up. Like you have to keep pushing because that's when you become better. You don't go to the mechanic and say, oh, you didn't put the right tires on my car. I'm not the car no more. You can't do that with your can't do that with your mind. So it's like you have to be willing to go through these things. And I think I tell my clients that a lot is that like, don't step into this journey and expect it to be easy peasy. Like step into this journey and understand that there's going to be a lot of hard work. And I'm not just talking about in the gym or I'm talking about mentally. You have to get over these hurdles that this is going to be just a quick fix. I think
Exactly.
that's the hard thing. Now, we talk about the fitness community. What is one of the things right now you could honestly say that you hate about the fitness industry?
Let's see.
I know I got my ick. I got my ick. And I'm like,
yeah. The ick for me, if I'm being completely transparent, is when there's people selling things that are just completely it's like a fraud. It's a fake. Where, for example, they're saying, join my 30-day program and have a booty like this, or join my 30-day ab program and have abs like this. Meanwhile, and I have nothing against this, just be honest about it. Like if it was like put into the body and it was like through an operation or it was through injections, like to each their own, that's great. But when you're selling something that isn't authentic and it isn't real and it wasn't created by that exact program, that's the ick that I have with the fitness industry right now.
girl.
And I'm gonna say it. All these women on Ozempic, like that's all. That's
Talk
all.
about it. Hold up. Oh, sipping my juice, my tamarind juice from Tulum restaurant. But like, talk about it because this whole thing with Ozempic is actually very scary.
It is. It's very scary.
That they've found a way to cheat the system, because that's what you're doing. You're cheating the system. You're cheating your body. But what you're not
You're
realizing
cheating your
is that
body.
you're messing with your own hormones. That it's
Mm-hmm.
now going to have a long-term effect instead of just putting in the work and the time to
Yes,
get to what you want. And you're just cheating your body.
exactly.
So it's like don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok has dropped the weight and, look good.
Right.
That's great. But I say this all the time. The quicker you lose it is the faster you're going to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's just how your body's
Right.
going to work. You think that your body's just going to look, oh, no, you're fine. You can eat what you want. You can do as you please. Your body's going to go, girl.
Yeah,
I'm going to hold on. Because it no longer trusts you
exactly.
because you did not give it consistency. You gave it a drug
Mm.
instead.
Yes, exactly.
And
You gave it a band-aid, and it just goes back full circle to that self-love, because we're like, you're doing that because you don't really like love yourself and you're trying to change something. But instead what you do is like you're changing the external, you're not going deep within, because that's what's harder, is to sit with your shit. So you just put this thing into your body, and then what does it do in the end? It backfires, because that wasn't coming from a place of love. It was coming from a place of, I hate my body, so I'm going to take this because I would just don't want to deal with it. That's not loving your body, and your body is going to show it. We are energy, everything is energy. You're putting that out, it's going to show somewhere, somehow.
yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
And you're not lying. You are not lying. It's like your self-worth, in a sense, is you're saying, okay, I want to change this thing, but I'm okay with doing whatever it takes but the hard work and the mental
Mm-hmm.
hurdles to change this thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm a very firm believer that there are certain things in life that are put in front of you to test you,
Mm-hmm.
to see what you're willing to
Yeah.
do. And when they came out with this
Mm-hmm.
whole, now Ozempic has been around for years. Now these diabetic drugs have been around for years. It took
Right.
one person to say, I did this and it
Mm-hmm.
worked for me, to have all these other people hop on. Now what have they done with Ozempic? They have raised the prices and making it 20 times
Mm-hmm.
harder for people who actually need it to get it. And it's like, what are you doing? Now you're just messing with everybody, in a sense. You took
Yeah.
something that could have been so selfless for somebody else and made it selfish for
Mm-hmm.
yourself because you did not
Mm-hmm.
want to put in the work. And now I probably will get bashed for, us even talking about this because, oh, it's their body, their choice. Completely. Absolutely.
Completely.
But in that same breath, you have to realize what you're doing to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Yeah.
client cannot even get it. She's been
Mm-hmm.
diabetic for 12 years. She's like, I can't even get my hands on it.
Wow.
That's like
Yeah.
that's insane. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
are better off putting in the work and the time to be happy about what you're getting, to
Exactly.
see the actual transformation. It's like
Yeah.
you did that. You did that. I think that's the best thing about being a trainer is watching your clients go through the I did
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
exactly.
moment, and now you took that away from yourself because you wanted a quick fix. And it just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
We're on the same egg. I promise.
100%. 100%. So much truth in that.
So
Oh.
what is something that you would want to give back to your community? Like what, like even if it's inside or just like an event, what is something you would like to give back to your
Yeah, I love this question. I feel as though like what I would like to give back to my community is like, for me, working with women is everything, and letting them see themselves through the eyes of themselves. So, exactly like what you were saying, like if a client, in a session, I'm sure you've had a client tell you this, where they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, that's what I needed. Like, like you helped me feel powerful. And for me, it's like, no, you showed up for you. You brought the power. You made yourself feel that. I'm here to guide you. That's it. We guide. If you allow yourself to be open to being like just to see, That's all it is like, you already have the eyes. I just have a flashlight and I'm helping you. That's it. So for me, for my community is for women to see themselves through their essence, their being, who they are, their worthiness, without having to fixate so much on the external. While it's important, of course, we're human beings, we're going to worry about those things. And can you, with everything that you are, really feel that worthiness within? And that's it for me, is for women to just see themselves more with self-love.
I agree to that. I totally
Yeah.
agree to that. And I was laughing because you took the words right out my mouth. I say that all the time when clients are just like, "Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you for get me this." I'm like, no, 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 no. Thank yourself. I just give you guidance.
Exactly.
That's all I'm here to do. My job is to give you guidance and walk you through it. Your job is to show it for yourself, and you're putting in this work. I'm not putting in this work. I'm putting in work for
Yeah,
yourself, but you're putting in your work for your own self. So be proud of that. Don't give too. I
exactly.
think it's important that sometimes we understand that it's good to acknowledge and appreciate the other people that get you there,
Right.
but you have to really thank yourself first too.
100%.
Yeah, it's super important because I don't feel like, especially like this day and age, we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we put into the
Mm-hmm.
universe, but what we also put into ourselves. So I think it's very
Yes.
important that like we do that. And we do that, especially for women, is that, we get knocked down easily for anything that we do, bare minimum. So it's like,
Yeah,
pat yourself on the back. You made it, you know. But sometimes the
exactly.
hardest thing to do is to walk into the gym. That's
Mm-hmm.
once you get it,
Yeah,
and you already got your plan, you already got your set, everything else comes easy peasy. So the moment you walk into the gym, and my clients will text me like, "Yeah, I made it to the gym today. I'm proud of you." Oh, I just went to the gym. I know, but I'm proud of you because you could have made any excuse not to.
exactly. Exactly. It's just that initial like go. And really, that's what we all need. We're here to support each other, to help each other like be seen. But I love that you said that. It starts with you. And the moment that you can acknowledge that and you see yourself for that and you celebrate yourself, it just keeps going. It just keeps going and keeps going.
It does. What is an affirmation that you tell yourself? Like, I'm an affirmation queen. I live off my affirmation book. I love to hear what other women like to tell themselves because sometimes it can honestly help one another. What is an affirmation, Joe, that you like to say?
Yeah. So mine is more like an affirmation like statement. I guess you could say I have it like written on my bathroom mirror. I'm that person. I get like the mark. I literally have them right here and I write on the windows and I write on the glass. But for me, a statement that I've like put together, and this is one that I've put together through some like life coaching sessions that I had where you're just really connected and you're grounded to like that essence part and you see yourself for that.
Mhm.
And so for me, my statement is I am. It's an I am statement because I am is such a powerful thing because you are stating into the world what you are. So for me, it's I am the fountain of joy. I am the essence of strength and I am the light of transmutation. That's
Mm.
what my story has been. And that's what I tell myself and just really bring that energy and radiate with whoever I encounter, most importantly with myself on a daily basis. Because like I mentioned, it's a daily devotion. Just like we go out and we pour into others, we have to pour into ourselves first, and we have to see ourselves in that first before we expect anybody to see us in that light. So those are my affirmations.
I love it's okay. I think that having an affirmation statement is good. Not just like, just words, but having an affirmation statement is nice. And I read books of affirmation. It's like a paragraph
Mm.
depending on like what day it is. And when I tell you when I read this book, it's always it goes by days. Like it literally says February 7th. Like it goes by days. So
Mm.
I love that when I read this, it's like I feel like this lady is looking into my soul. And I'm just like, where are
Yeah.
you? Okay, are you God? Because like it's nice to have that reminder that even though you are going through this,
Hmm.
you are not alone.
Exactly.
And that goes to everything, whether you're on a spiritual journey, healing journey, fitness journey, wellness journey, like that goes through everything. You are not alone. You might be going through this right now, but I promise you, somebody before you and after you is going to go through something similar. So
Yeah.
when I was in high school, we were reading a poem, and it said that behind every closed door, somebody is fighting a battle.
Mm,
And it's true. That's why it's always great to be nice to people, but it's also important how you speak to yourself. So
yeah.
that's one thing. If I can give anything back to my community, is that
Mm-hmm.
how you speak to yourself is so important. The words you tell yourself is
Yeah.
so important because it will dictate how your day goes. It will dictate who you
Mm-hmm.
become, and also dictates if you have kids, how they look at you, how they perceive you to be.
Yeah.
It's
It's everything.
It really is. It really
I
is.
always say the most important relationship you're going to have is the one with yourself. That's where everything stems from. Everything.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Joe,
100%.
I have a couple more questions for you, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
But
Let's do it.
how was it transitioning into just training to wellness? Like, when did you make that transition?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get deep now. Let's get extra deep because this is where the fun begins. I think there's this meme where it's like, if it's just like superficial conversations, I don't want it. It's so true. That's me. But yeah, so the transition and mainly what happened was, we're gonna go back to let's go back to 2019. That's like really where the huge transition started. So the end of 2019, I was going through a pretty big breakup. And from that, I was like, okay, I found a lot of sense of worthiness, validation, again, safety within that relationship. Well, that relationship ended. Okay. That was towards the end of 2019. Then I'm going to describe this in like three different pillars of what happened in my life that finally made things come like to a very big transition. So that first pillar in the relationship knocked down. Then we have 2020 COVID, right? A few months later, the world shutting down. That pillar got knocked down because it really invited me. You got to sit with your shit. You can't be distracting yourself because that's what that period was for me. Then July 2020, I lost my brother. My brother was 25 at the time. I was 29. So we were very close growing up. So for me, all of these things were very earth shattering that God, universe, whoever you want to call your higher being, came and just knocked that out of my life. And I was just there like, okay, what is life? Why am I here? What does my life mean? What am I doing? What's the purpose? Like everything I started to question. And that's where I really started to make a big pivotal change into my life of it's not just fitness. It's not just this. It's my overall well-being because I realized that when you go through something very traumatic like that, grief doesn't come alone. Grief comes with every single thing that you've been burying that you haven't like ever placed your attention on. And so for me, it was like, oh shit, I got to sit with the emotions that are coming up. I got to sit with my trauma. I got to sit with my inner child. There's so many things that came up. What I realized is we're a multi-dimensional being. We are mind, we're a body, we're a spirit. So that was a big turning point for me where I'm not just approaching it by just the body or just the mind. I'm approaching it like all the way around. And that was my big turning point.
Wow. I'm very sorry for your loss. That's,
Thank you.
I know that's not easy to deal with at all. I can only imagine. Even though my brothers drive me crazy, I would lose my mind without them. Um,
Of course.
it's crazy when it's true what people say is that there's always going to be one or two traumatic things more likely to happen to you that actually changes how you view yourself, but also how you view everything else in the world. And it's going to transform you into somebody else. And it sounds like your
Yeah.
brother's stuff was, that last pillar to knock down what you thought you had and to rebuild what you now know you needed. And
Yeah.
that's a great story. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like,
Yeah.
that's a great story to have because now your brother gets to look down on you and be proud of who you've become. You know, And
Yeah.
as much as you would love for him to be here with you and to show him in person, you are still showing him what his passing, his legacy has done for you. So I love that for
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's so true. Like there's these moments in life that it just really comes to just rattle you up and shake you up to where you just wake up. That's what it was for me. It's like that awakening of like the way I was living my course of life wasn't what was in like the higher purpose for what my soul was here to do. So
Mhm.
that was that moment where it was like, oh shit, like I gotta wake up, like I gotta change things for my life because in the path that I was going on was not for my like highest like intention of why I'm here. And through those moments that sometimes seem so painful, those are the ones that really make you like start to change your life and to shift. And so through those painful moments, and I was telling you this last time, your pain is your purpose, your triggers are your teachers, and your mess is your message. So for me, that pain is what needed to happen for me to tap into my purpose. The mess that I was going through my life of 2019 and 2020 was now my bigger message of self-love. I dealt with that. And then triggers come up all the time. Your triggers are just kind of like alert systems, right?
Right.
That go off and it's like, oh, I'm triggered by that. Oh, it's trying to teach me something. Okay. You can have that optic and see it that way. Life is perspective.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I'm going to run it back to
Yeah.
what she said. Your pain is your purpose. Your triggers are your teachers. Your mess is
Mm-hmm.
your message. There is anything
Yeah.
that you take from today's conversation, I hope you guys take that because when she told me that, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel rejuvenated. Like that is one way to change your perspective on life. Because if you always feel like the world is against you, you're going to turn it into you against the world. And now you're walking around all angry, not even finding your purpose, not even being who you're meant to be. You're just a ball of energy that hasn't been released and not given
Yeah.
to the world like it's supposed to. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I very much think. And I'm not gonna lie, since you said that the last time, I wrote it down on a sticky note. Okay.
I love that.
Because it's important for us to remember that there's more to life than anger. There's more to life than frustration. The more that you
Yeah,
give yourself these opportunities and this positivity, now don't get me wrong, it's hard to be positive all the time, but
of
don't
course.
fight against what you're trying to be taught.
Exactly. Sometimes, most times, you just got to go there
Yeah.
because under anger, when you really sit with why you're angry at something, there's probably a hurt version of you that's actually really sad.
Yeah.
So if you sit with that, it's trying to tell you something.
Yep.
Sit with it, sit with those emotions and see what comes up. And on the other side of it are your teachers.
No, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Joe, what is, how do I place this? Who do you want to be when you get older?
Hmm, it's a great question. Who do I want to be when I grow older? I am her. I myself. It's that I am statement that I was mentioning. It's when I grow older, it's like it's just a more expansive version of me that's lived more, but it's still me in its essence. What we truly have is in this being, is in this present moment, right? So who I'm being now, who I'm absorbing to be,
Mhm.
is a part of who I'm going to be in the future, if you call it. But that version is already here. And just like I look at my past self, it's like, oh, cool. Like I've already been there. It's something that's like a great perspective that like I took away from this from a coach was that if you imagine like you're standing here, human form, right? And you look down and you see an ant, right? And the ant's like right here, and there's a cookie crumb that the ant's trying to get to. I can see that and I see it's all present tense, right? Oh, the ant's going there. But to the ant, that's the future. It's like, holy shit, like I smell it, I'm going there. But they don't see that.
Right.
That's kind of how like our life is. It's like right now, I might like kind of be the ant and seeing that that's my future, But if you take it from that bird's eye view, you zoom out and you see the bigger picture, you already are that. You're already there. It's already here. So for me, it's myself.
Okay. Aspirations is me. Okay, what you say. But that's good though. I feel like I was watching this other podcast and the lady was talking about how her daughter had asked her, Mommy, what do you want to be when you get older? And she was like, What are you talking about? I'm grown. And it's like, yeah, you can be grown, but like there's so much more to yourself that you
Mm-hmm.
realize. And there's so much more that you can do that you don't realize.
Yeah.
Sometimes put ourselves in this little box and think that we're supposed to stay in this box and that's all we're supposed to do. And no, 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 no. You're supposed to grow from this
Mm-hmm.
box. You're supposed to expand out this box. You're supposed to make this box a little bit bigger, maybe so it can fit your lifestyle. So that's why I asked, because I love your energy. I love, like, who you really are, Joe. You're like really this person that I watch on social media, and you are just putting life into other people. And you are so
Mm-hmm.
expressive about yourself, but also like you are doing good for women, which I love because it's like, something that I do, but you don't see it often enough. Like some people might say,
Yeah.
oh, there's too much things for women, but like giving women a platform and a safe space to speak is very important because, that wasn't always something we had. Look at history. We didn't always
Mm-hmm.
have that. So I love that
Exactly.
you are creating a safe space for women to be who they're meant to be and be and just be. It's it. It's just giving women a space to just be. So I appreciate you, one, for joining me on my podcast and being a part of this
Oh,
journey of what I'm creating for myself, because this is obviously something completely new to me, but also giving good into the world. I appreciate that you bring goodness and good energy, good vibes, good everything into this world, because we definitely need more of it.
yeah, thank you. What an honor. I appreciate that so much, and I will receive. And I'll also tell you like how incredible you are as well, and what you put out into the world. And I love watching your stories too, because I know the work you're doing is so meaningful, and it's like that reciprocated. It's like similar energy. I'm like, yeah, she gets it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you. It's been an honor.
Well, I appreciate you joining. Guys, thank you for watching. You are watching another episode of Libation and Vibration. We're going to give it up to Joe for taking the time to tell us her insights, but also give us a bunch of gems. I hope y'all wrote down everything that she said on a sticky note so we can use those affirmations, use those words to the best of our ability so we can be who God intended us to be. I hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed what we had produced today and what we're showing out. And till the next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Perfect.